All right, welcome back to this Thanksgiving edition of Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Now our GMC tweet of the night. This is from CBS Sports. Most pass plus rush TDs in first 5 seasons. This is what I was talking about. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL. We can talk about it. You can debate me. I think he's the best. That's the guy that I would want if I was going to build around. Right there, number 17 for the Bills, Josh Allen. 161. Dan Marino, a few more. Marino, obviously, a better passer than Allen, but Allen, I think, is a better playmaker than maybe Marino. I mean, he can do so much. It just impresses me that it feels like when he has the ball, he is all day back there, and he's looking, he's scouting, looking around. I just really like the way the guy plays. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We got JB in Squirrel Hill. How you doing, JB?
Hey, Richie, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for calling.
Oh, yeah, sure. So,
Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, you know what, JB, before we get to your question, I started a new tradition in the Walsh family. We deep fry our turkeys, and they're amazing. It's unbelievable.
Oh, okay.
Got to try.
That's nice. Okay. So, Najee Harris, I feel like because he can't really break a big run, he cannot, take it to the house. I feel like the defenses don't really have to respect him. They can sit back, sit in these passing lanes, and make things really hard for Pickett. I mean, he can go 10 yards.
Hey, JB, look, no defenses respect the Steelers' run game at all because it was not existent up until maybe 2 games ago. They seem to have been getting things going. And Najee Harris was the one guy you thought that they were going to build this offense around. He had a pretty decent year last year, but when you look at and you break down, he had a lot of production, but not that many 100-yard games. Compare that, last year to what Le'Veon Bell did in the Steelers uniform and what he did in his final season here. I forget what year it was, 16, 17, when he had 1,100 yards in the last 8 games, something ridiculous. So Le'Veon Bell was just a special type of runner. Najee Harris maybe can be that guy, but he's not Le'Veon Bell. And when he studied Le'Veon Bell's tape, I don't think that's the guy you need to look at. He needs to hit the hole and just go and try to get 5 yards. He added a little bit of weight, which maybe has slowed him down. I don't know, but he's in good shape. I'm not saying he's fat. He's not fat at all. I mean, he's in great shape. But maybe he did lose a little bit of speed, but he doesn't have the speed to get to the edge. And it bothers me that, he tries to dance around too much. I want the guy just to run forward. And maybe this starts with coaching. Look, all these offensive coaches are from that Matt Canada tree. So maybe that is the problem. I blame a lot of this on Matt Canada and the offensive staff. It has to be. They have to revamp this whole coaching staff on the offense because it's not working right now. And I think they have the players. Najee Harris has been successful up until this point. Seriously. So when you look at that, there is hope there for him. I still like that draft pick. I know people are saying, hey, maybe they shouldn't have drafted him. I thought that was the right pick at the right time for this team. I still think he is the right guy. I think his vision could be a little bit better. And you're right. They don't really have to play for the run teams now. I mean, but they're stopping guys. He's running into just the back of guys' backs. He's running in their backs, The Steelers' offensive line has to get better, too. So these are things that they need to address in this offseason. And, look, they got a new GM, Khan, Weidel, assistant GM. These are guys that are going to bring in different people and change the personnel up a little bit. And we'll see if Mike Tomlin does something with some of his offensive coaches. All right, let's go out to Jerry in Hempfield. How you doing, Jerry?
I got a question about Mike Tomlin.
Okay, go ahead,
clarify.
Jerry. Yep.
Okay, they said since he's been there, he never has a losing season. But if you don't make the wild card every year, and say you're 8-9, but you don't make the wild card, that's not a winning season. You must be 4-10. If you can't be in a contention every year for a playoff, how can you consider that a winning season? I don't understand it. That's a losing season to me.
Okay, Jerry, I get what you're saying. Winning season as in record. I mean, that's just what it is. He's never had a losing record. That's what people are saying in the regular season. But you're right. There's going to be 31 teams every year that's going to have basically a losing season. The only winner is going to be the team that wins the Super Bowl or, out of the AFC. If you want to say that's 15 teams out of the AFC are going to have a losing season if you don't win the AFC. So I get what you're saying, and it makes sense, but people are talking about, and I think that's the one thing that's just kind of irrelevant. I'll take 3 straight losing seasons if the next year you go on to win the Super Bowl. That's fine. You're building a team to win and maybe win for a couple years. The one thing with the Steelers, they have been consistent for so long. They're consistently good, but they haven't been consistently good in the playoffs in a long time. So you take the good with the bad. You like consistency and you like winning, but you want to have the opportunity to get to a championship. That was kind of like Pitt football. Use them as an example. They were, 8, 7, 8, 9 wins every once in a while. Not good enough, and then they fire Wannstedt, and then you bring in, and now you're still mediocre, and you're still going to be lucky to get 8 wins this year. So they're kind of in the same spot as they were before, But the one thing, the Steelers, I always think you need to be really bad before you can be really good, because then you're going to get draft picks. You're not only picking high in the first round, but high in the second round, high in the third round, high in the fourth round, all better players. That's how you build teams. Let's go out to Jim in Leechburg. How you doing, Jim?
Hi, Rich. I listened to you so much I almost forgot what I said, but Mike Tomlin has got to make a choice about. We've been developing the front line for 2 years, and even before Roethlisberger left, and we need to.
Yeah, look, Jim, I know. Offensive line is a priority, and it's been a priority for 2 years. I know people, fans, obviously, wanted an offensive lineman maybe each of the last 2 years high. That didn't happen. They went with skilled positions, which I don't blame them. You need skilled players too, but they didn't go out and get the right guys. Maybe they misevaluated the talent that they had up front. So now they need to look at this again and say, is James Daniels my guy at guard? Is Mason Cole my guy at center? Are my tackles good? Okorafor and Dan Moore are young guys. Is he coming along? Is he progressing to where we need? You got to look at all this, and you're going to have to evaluate this. And I know Andy Weidl is evaluating these guys all the time and figuring out what we need to do in the offseason, free agency, and also in the draft. What positions do we target? I just want to see what this new regime does with the group that they have. That's kind of what I'm looking for to this offseason. What kind of moves they make, who they go after in the offseason, what kind of trades they make in the draft to gain more picks, to maybe move back. If they have a high first-round pick and they don't like the guy, maybe they move back a couple spots or something like that to get another pick in the second round or maybe a first-rounder the next year. So they start to accrue more young talent. That's what they need to do right now. They need to get the right guys in the right positions. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls coming up next on a special Thanksgiving edition of the Ireland Contractor Nightly Sports Call. Stay right there.